Hi, good afternoon, how are you doing? I've got another edition of TGTV here. So what I'm going to do in this episode is actually just do a quick look at some of the global settings on this unit, and that's on the device itself. Okay, so what we're going to do first is just take you to the global settings menu. So at the moment we're in the main play mode of this. So if you hit these two buttons that you see here, just next to the second dial down, hold those together. That takes you to this bit here, and on here what you'll actually see is global settings. So you hit the dial there, and we're going to look at a couple of the main things that you'll tend to come across quite a lot when you're using this unit. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the main output level. You've got two here. You've got instrument level or line level. So line level is a much stronger level, so it's a bigger level. So depending on what you're plugging into, you might just want to have a play with those and have a look at those two. The other important thing I've got here as well is, imagine you're using your unit into, say, an FR unit, or like a PA speaker, which is similar, or even the PA itself for your band. If you want to actually also use the amp out to go to your amp, but because you're using the amp, you don't want to use the speaker and IR settings, what you can actually do here using amp out source is have the amp out output actually, before the cab or the IRs. So that means that you're just using, you're just using the preamp itself and a couple of effects. If you put those before the cab in the preset that you're making, that means that those would actually go out to the amp out itself. Okay, so the amp out would go out there, and of course the main out settings would then just keep going, to the cab, IR, and then the other effects that you've got after that, anything you've got in the chain after that. So you would put pre-cab and IR to set that, okay, if you're using amp out. Otherwise, it's the main out, the same as the main, the main out itself. So that would be like from the end of the chain, for example. So you've got two options there. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If you just go to the next one here, I want to show you. Just a couple of things on switches and pedals I want to show you here. Again, you'll kind of use these quite often. So foot switch, auto assign, now you can actually use that to kind of auto select some of the foot switches. You'll tend to notice that when you go to a blank patch that some of the effects are actually automatically assigned to certain colours and certain locations. To be honest, I like to leave that off because I like to kind of cherry pick where I assign the foot switches to. The other part here is Stomp Mode. Whether you want to have it as 4 foot switches, which will be A, B, C or D, or you want to utilise the bank up and down switches as well. This is when you go into individual Stomp Mode where you're actually using those 6 buttons apart from the mode and tap for actual effects. So you can either do 4 or 6. Myself, I tend to prefer 4, but you've got the option of 6 there as well. So you've got all kinds of flexibility within the same patch to turn effects on and off by going into Stomp Mode. But I hope you found that helpful and interesting. Just keep obviously looking out for more of these videos, and thank you for listening. Bye.